Did you know that you can wholesale houses in any part of the country just using your cell phone and a laptop? Yes, you can literally be sitting in one part of the country and wholesale a property all the way on the other side of the country. It's called virtual wholesaling, and it's quickly becoming the #1 wholesaling strategy for all of the top players in the game. Now, today's video, I'm going to give you a deep dive and go into my thoughts on the pros and cons of how you can get started doing some virtual wholesaling today. Stay tuned. What's up, clever investors? Cody Sperber back again here with another awesome training video. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite strategies in the real estate game, and it's really going to help you explode your career to a whole new level. Now, the strategy is called virtual wholesaling, and today I'm going to be going through my top tips on how you can succeed virtual wholesaling in 2020. But before we get too deep into today's topic, I want to thank all my new visitors for tuning into the channel. Here we're talking about escaping the rat race using creative real estate investing strategies. So if you want to make more money, have more fun, and control your future, please consider smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel. Also hit that bell to receive post notifications whenever I drop new content just like this. All right, let's talk about virtual wholesaling, right? There is one main difference between wholesaling and virtual wholesaling. And essentially, virtual wholesaling involves all of the same steps as regular wholesaling, but you never actually see the subject property or meet with the seller in person. Now, I know at first this might seem like it's a little bit of a weird thing, but there's a lot of reasons why somebody would want to virtually wholesale real estate. Let's dive into a couple of those reasons real quick. Reason number one is maybe you live in a really small town and you don't really have any potential wholesale inventory. Now, some people want to get involved in wholesaling, but they live in a desolate town in Idaho or maybe like Montana somewhere. And they just don't have enough people wanting to do deals. Now, wholesaling transactions can work in any market, but sometimes there's just not enough deal flow to go around to continually market to and continually do deals. Now, these people that live in a smaller town, they're just not going to have enough, houses in the area or properties in the area to be able to spend their marketing dollars on. And they're not going to get a good enough return even if they did spend their marketing dollars. So if this is you, then virtual wholesaling can be a great way to start increasing deal flow. Now, reason number two is you live in a very competitive market with too many other wholesalers fighting for every deal. Living in Phoenix, I can tell you from firsthand experience that being in a competitive market, it can increase your marketing budgets exponentially. Now, back in the day, I sent out a lot of direct mail pieces, and I used to get crazy responses. And then it slowly started getting competitive with direct mail, and that particular marketing strategy was no longer as effective. And it becomes 10 times harder to get similar returns. But when you virtually wholesale, you can find markets in particular areas where the market is wide open. It's like little sweet spots of profit potential. And don't sit there and battle if you're new, trying to compete with guys like me that have massive marketing budgets and a ton of credibility and good looks and, a hot wife.
I'm sorry. You were saying?
Or, any of the other million reasons that we probably shouldn't compete. But, you find that sweet spot, and it's going to be wide open for you, all right? You're going to get much better returns and much better profits. Now, reason number three is in certain states, there are more legal pressures preventing wholesalers from being able to wholesale. Now, there are some states like, Illinois, where people are lobbying to change the laws, aka real estate agents that are worried about competition, to make wholesaling illegal. And it's not really that it's illegal. I mean, there are some states where the laws are changing. It's assigning contracts that you don't have an intention to actually buy that are becoming more illegal. Now, I've already made a video about this. If you want to go more in depth, go ahead and check that out right here. And I break down the Illinois state example and show you why you're probably going to want to get a real estate license if you live in these particular states like Ohio or Illinois. Now, in order to actually wholesale in these environments, there is creative workarounds that you can actually go and do right? But maybe you're brand new and you're like, this is too complicated for me. I'm just trying to figure out how wholesaling works. So it'd be better for you to start off virtually wholesaling and working in a state where it's blue ocean, where it's wide open, like I said in the earlier tip. Now, hopefully you can kind of see why this is a great option for a lot of investors and why a lot of people are virtually wholesaling and they're getting started right now. Now, here's what I want to do. I want to break down some tips to just help you get your virtual wholesaling business up off the ground. Now, tip number one is all about picking the right target markets. Now, you can either find a market that you're already familiar with and or that is in close proximity to your home state, or just one that you know has a tremendous amount of investor activity going on in. Now, I know I've already told you that you can wholesale houses anywhere in the country, but it's really important that you pick the right market. Now, how we do that is by doing a little bit of market research, and it could be as simple as just Googling like top markets to flip houses in. Now, I actually did this one time, and I was able to find that the St. Louis market at that particular time was super hot. And a lot of rehabbers and landlords were buying in that particular market. Well, I just Googled top markets to invest in. USA Today article showed up. St. Louis was on the top 20. I then took that and started running with it, started doing some research. And if you're more advanced, you can go into a software like the Deal Automator and just pull any county or zip code or city, and it'll show you all the recent cash transactions, and it makes it super easy. If you don't have access to powerful technology, I would just pick maybe 5 zip codes and go to listability.com and just give them a call and say, hey, I'm a Clever Investor student, and say, I need to buy a few lists from you. And the lists you're looking for are absentee owner high equity lists. And I would just pick five zip codes, and I would maybe get 200 absentee high equity house leads from each one of those 5 zip codes. And this might be like $50 or $100 worth of data. And I would get these leads and I would send out mailers to absentee owner high equity, 100 mailers each in each of the 5 zip codes. And then just track your results. If you get a massive response rate in 3 of the 5 zip codes, but in your home state you get barely any responses, then you know that you're on the right track. All right, so picking the right market is key. And then the second part of that is, do you have any relationships or resources, or do you need to create those in that particular market? Because once you find that a market is wide open and there's a lot of investor activity, now we got to start building relationships. And you could do that by infiltrating online real estate groups on Facebook, by just cold calling local wholesalers. It's pretty easy to find wholesalers in any market. Just go to Craigslist. Go into the search bar. Go into the real estate for sale section and put in phrases that only wholesalers use, like as is, cash only, ARV, after repaired value. Those are phrases that only wholesalers use. And see if there's a lot of other wholesaler activities going on in that particular area. If there is, call the wholesalers and then say, hey, let me ask you a question. If I find deals, do you have buyers looking for good deals? Can we co-wholesale and partner up? Now, this is virtual wholesaling. Even though it's co-wholesaling, it's virtual investing for you, because your job then, once they say, sure, I got a lot of buyers looking for deals, is to do the acquisition side of the deal. They're going to do the disposition side of the deal, and you guys are going to split the profits. All right, so lining up some team members is pretty easy. Find another local wholesaler that you could partner up with, and then ask them, who's your closing agent that's investor friendly? Who, is there a local real estate agent or somebody we can get out to go out and take pictures of the properties and get contracts signed? Maybe the wholesaler's like, dude, I'll take care of all of that. All you got to do is tee me up. I'll get the contract signed. I'll blast out to my buyers list. Bada boom, bada bing, profit. All right, now tip number 2, once you do your research, it's now really important to upgrade your data sources. All right, now that we know that the market is wide open, it's important that you can get good quality data, your marketing is on point, you got good marketing, and you can stay organized. Now, data is always going to be the key to success when wholesaling. Doesn't matter if you're wholesaling or virtual wholesaling. So it's definitely going to be true when you're doing what we're trying to teach you to do. And the best data sources will give you the availability to pull in multiple layers of motivation, such as absentee owner high equity, like I talked about. But what about tax liens or tax delinquency, probates, high equity, maybe people that are in foreclosure? And what we can do is we can say these are vacant, these are high equity, these are probate, and we could start data stacking. All right, and by data stacking, this is the process of pulling multiple lists into one stack and then filtering down all of these potential leads into some very high targeted, high quality leads. Now, when you're targeting only the best of the best, you increase your marketing ROI because you're not wasting money chasing after people who don't have the ability to sell at a discount and don't have the motivation to sell at a discount. So the more layers of motivation, the more likely you're going to have motivated sellers contacting you through your marketing efforts. Now, not only do you need to research these data sources to increase your response rates, but you need to be effective as possible when you're doing your marketing spend. So in order to do this, I recommend that you have a software that kind of runs the backbone of your business. Now, my software that I built, I'm biased to. I love it. I've talked to you guys about it on multiple videos. It's called the Deal Automator, and it's the freaking bomb.com #1 real estate investing software in the world. All right, so if you want to learn more about the Deal Automator, just click the link down below. Watch the free training where I pull back the curtain on the software and show you exactly how I use it to find deals, close deals, stay organized, scale my business, wash my clothes, sip Mai Tais on the beach, like the whole shebang. All right, Deal Automator. Now, tip number 3 is once you have all your setup done, you pick your target market, you have your software, you're all set up to do some business virtually, is to focus all of your energy and efforts on going out and locking up good deals before worrying about building a cash buyer database. Now, I know this is a little counterintuitive because when you're new, you're like, oh my God, once I get a deal under contract, I got to have somebody to sell it to. But the reality is good deals sell themselves. Now, I have a ton of videos out there telling you and teaching you how to build a cash buyer database. And I actually have some new creative ones that I want to put out. So if you want to learn more about building a cash buyer database, drop me a comment down below. But the reality is, you don't have to wait. Don't put the cart before the horse. Like I said, good deals will sell themselves. Post on Facebook groups. Call other local wholesalers. Post ads on Craigslist. If the deal is bought at a big enough discount, people will come out of the woodworks. Landlords and rehabbers that are looking for deals, they're actively waiting on the sidelines. They got more money than time, and they're waiting for somebody like you to serve up a beautiful deal on a silver platter. So I promise you, don't stress out about that. And when you do real estate the way that I teach you, right, it's risk-free, right? In fact, if you don't have my real estate contracts, you should get them. In a pinned comment down below, I'm going to give you thousands of dollars worth of real estate contracts that protect you in the deal. So click that link, swipe my contracts, get them in your hands, and use them because when you do it the way I teach you, it's risk-free. You can put a deal under contract and you have escape clauses built into the contract that allow you to back out if you can't find a buyer in time. Plus, you can always renegotiate and buy yourself some more time or lower the purchase price so it'll put it back into the realm of being able to sell it. Or you just cancel the contract and walk away. It's not a big deal, right? And if you want to learn more about how this works, go deeper on my training. These YouTube videos are just scratching the surface, right? My systems, my training, my processes, what I believe have created more success stories than anybody else out there. And I know I'm tooting my own horn a little bit, but I've created a lot of freaking successful people, and you can be one of them, but you just have to not allow your mindset or your emotions or overanalyzing or overthinking or over-preparing or procrastinating or fears or other people's opinions or anything to get in the way, right? Just take it one step at a time, right? The last video I just put out was how to eat a real estate elephant. You just take it one bite at a time. Before you know it, you start stacking these little wins and boom, all of a sudden you're at the closing table. And this is a great way to do it when you're brand new because it's not only risk-free, it's a lot easier because a lot of times when you're virtual wholesaling, you're only handling one side of the transaction. All right, that's all I have for you in today's training video. What do you guys think? Did I do good? If I did, smash that like button for me. Hook me up. I appreciate that. And until next time, I am Cody Sperber, the Clever Investor. I'll be signing off for now. Until then, take care, comb your hair, Sperber out.